Hey guys, this is Sahil and welcome to this exclusive session of Weekly Mastermind for 19th March 2023. And in this particular session, we are going to look up at market index, outperforming sectors, underperforming sectors. Then we are going to look up at trending stocks. What are the trending stocks in present tense? What are the tracking stocks which we have to track for upcoming week? And what are the cup pattern stocks in which we have to buy and hold for a few months? So let's quickly jump into the market index. Nifty is down by almost 2%, Sensex down by almost 1.78%. Bank Nifty also down by 2.5% almost. Mid cap also down by 1.6%. India VIX was up in the previous week, and USD INR kind of flattish, 0.65% up. So in the previous week, all the indices were on the downside. So let's quickly jump into Nifty 50. As we also analyzed in the previous week itself, if it goes above that zone, as I also mentioned in the previous week mastermind, that if it sustains in that zone, then it will automatically take moving average support on monthly chart, but it did not sustain. And even it went below that zone of the spinning top, which was found on the day of budget, and it was kind of testing the lows. It was kind of forming the bottom. And as I also mentioned in all the community calls, that it takes time for any stock, any index, or even the market as well in order to create a strong bottom. And it can retest multiple times in order to form a strong bottom. And once you have the confirmation that yes, bottom has formed, then we can further expect for the upside move as well. And even in upcoming week, we have equinox. So based on that, we will get the confirmation whether the market is going to go into a bearish zone or on the upside, because on the day of that equinox, that is on Tuesday on 21st of March, if the market sustains above this zone, and if it takes support on this bottom zone itself, which means we can expect further move on the upside. But if it did not sustain on that bottom, and if it gives a decline on the downside, then we can expect downside move, we can expect bearish market as well. Next is Bank Nifty. And in Nifty, as we can see, if it takes confirmation, if it gives confirmation on next week, then it will automatically take 40 support on RSI on weekly chart. And even if you go for hourly and 15-minute chart of Nifty, then we can see that it is forming kind of RSI divergence, and it has shifted the range. RSI range shift has occurred, which we also analyzed in our 10 days live trading challenge. And based on that, the confirmation is that right now the market is not so bearish. And similar is for Bank Nifty, but Bank Nifty is slightly better than Nifty because it did not broke the spinning top support which was found on the day of budget, although it has crossed 40 on the downside on daily chart, but still it somehow sustained around that zone, and it is around the support zone itself, kind of forming the bottom. And in last 3 days, the first candle was bearish engulfing. Like you can even consider, because bearish engulfing, the main function of bearish engulfing is to come after an uptrend in order to give a downtrend. But this bearish engulfing was at the end of a downtrend, was at the end of lower top lower bottom formation, which means this can also be you can consider as the last engulfing pattern. And along with that, it has formed an exhaustion candle, and next to that it formed spinning top again, which means now the trend can change. And along with that, on the last trading session, that was on Friday, it formed the hammer. And as I also mentioned, it is slightly better than Nifty, so it did not broke moving average on monthly chart, and right now it is around 44 on weekly chart and on daily chart as well. If you see in hourly and 15-minute chart, it has already made RSI divergence, multiple RSI divergences, and along with that, it also made a range shift on upside, which means right now in smaller trend, the short-term trend, it is telling that I am not so bearish, and if it confirms, then it can form further bottom as well. And after equinox, if it confirms, then we can see uptrend as well. Let's see some of the sectors. Like IT was down, auto was also down, metal, all the sectors were down for the previous week except reality, but reality was also kind of flattish. Pharma was also on the downside, but it was kind of flattish. Energy was also kind of flattish, but rest were slightly going on the downside, like IT, auto, metal. These are the stocks which performed very badly in the previous week. So let's see what is condition of all the sectors. Nifty IT monthly is between 40-60, that is sideways, kind of forming a bottom, kind of forming a base. On weekly, it is taking multiple 40 plus 60 resistances. It is between the 40-60 range itself, and on daily, it crossed 40 on the downside. And but like in last few days, it is trying to form the bottom and come on the upside as well. And this is also one of the nugget which I gave to all my community members, that on IT we can go for outperforming stocks. In IT we can check IT stocks as well, but they will be the stocks which are value buying, because on weekly chart we can easily understand that it is a slower uptrend. we have to go for value buying, which means we have to buy and hold for few weeks and even for few months in order to get good returns. So Nifty IT is kind of value buying sectors. Next is for Nifty Auto, it crossed 60 on the downside on monthly chart. On 40, it is around 40. On weekly, it is around 40. And on daily, it has crossed 40 on the downside. So if this takes support on weekly chart, because around that zone itself, we have price support as well. Along with that, we have RSI support too. So if it takes support on weekly chart, then we can see further upside move on auto itself. Next is Nifty Metal. This is kind of sideways because monthly, weekly, and daily all are between 40-60. But on daily chart, we can see that it is consolidating with the moving average itself, 20 simple moving average, and it has taken 40 support. So we can see further upside move for few days on Nifty Metal as well. And this is also kind of value buying if we go for it. Otherwise, we can skip this sector as well. Nifty Bank, as I also mentioned earlier, Nifty FMCG, monthly is above 60, weekly is below 60, kind of it resisted near that zone itself, and right now it is below 60. And on daily, it is kind of resisting to go above 60, and it is even taking support on 40, which means it is neither going above 60, it is neither going below 40. It is kind of sideways on monthly, on weekly and daily, and it is bullish on upside. So this is kind of outperforming rather than other sectors. Next is Nifty Energy. On daily and monthly, it is between 40-60, and on weekly, it has taken 40 resistance. So we can even expect further move on the upside for Nifty Energy. And even if we go for Nifty Energy stocks, which are into energy sector, we can go for contra trade with, you can even consider small risk versus high reward. But the reward, we have to be very quick while booking our profits, because this is kind of contra trade. This is not going to be any trade with which we are in an uptrend. So based on that, we can analyze this. Next is Nifty Pharma. Monthly, it is around 40. Weekly and daily are already below 40, which means it is into a bearish zone, monthly and weekly and daily. And monthly is around 40, which means if it takes 40 support, then we can also further go for value buying stocks on pharma. And even there are 2 to 3 stocks which are outperforming in pharma sector. So we can also go for value buying on all 2 or 3 based on risk reward ratio, and along with that proper system once it gets executed. Next is for Nifty Infra, it is around 60 on monthly. On weekly and daily, it is between 40-60, so we can avoid this sector. But on monthly, it is taking moving average support. So based on that, we can expect that right now, daily and weekly, once it gives confirmation, then infra stock can also go into an uptrend. Next is for Nifty Reality, monthly, weekly, daily, all are between 40-60, so we have to avoid this sector. Next is Nifty Media. It is also similar of pharma itself. On monthly, it is taking 40 support. On daily, it is between 40-60, and on weekly, it is below 40. So once it takes 40 support on monthly chart, it will automatically see on daily chart as well. It has formed kind of base. So once it takes 40 support, so we can go for media stocks, value buying as well. Next, we can see for next trend following stocks which are already into an uptrend. Some of them are Hull. It is around all-time high. Once it breaks 2,910 mark, it will automatically go into an uptrend. And this is also one of the stocks which we kept into our watch list for previous week for our 10 days live trading challenge. But due to some of the reasons, because it did not give any confirmation, so that's why we did not take any trade on system 3 as well. So even in upcoming week, if it gives confirmation, still we can go for low risk, high reward entry on system 3. So all the Tradathon students take a note of it. All the Tradathon multipliers and even 1-year students take a note of it. Hull is the first. If it crossed that mark, then we can go for all-time high stocks. And based on trend following systems for all the multipliers and 1-year students, you have other systems as well based on which you can enter the trade. But all the Tradathon students, we are going to take trade based on system 3. Next is for Cummins Industries. This is also around all-time high. Once it breaks 1,710 mark, it will also go into an uptrend. And based on system 3 advanced concept, we can take trade with small amount of risk and high reward kind of trade on Cummins Industries. Next is for GAIL. On monthly chart, it is taking 60, kind of around 60, and it has also resistance in terms of price. So once it crosses that mark on monthly chart, it will automatically cross 60 on monthly chart, and it will go into an uptrend. On weekly and daily, it is already into an uptrend, but on daily chart, it was into a consolidation phase since last 6 days. So this was also on our radar since last 1 week, but it did not give any confirmation. So that is why we can keep it for tracking. Next is ABB. It is also around all-time high. Once it breaks this mark of 3,330 or 40 something, once it breaks that mark on weekly as well as daily, it will automatically go into an uptrend, because monthly, weekly, and daily all are above 60, but we have to take trade based on low risk, high reward kind of trade. Next is some of the tracking stocks which you have to keep a track on next week, because these were the stocks which were into a trend, like monthly, weekly, and daily, all were around 60, and they have already crossed 60. So we have to go for low risk, high reward trade on all those stocks. Next is the tracking stocks which we have to keep a track for next week, and if it confirms, then we have to take trade based on different systems. So first is OFSS. On monthly, it has taken multiple 40 supports. On weekly and daily, it is around 60. So once it crosses that mark, it will automatically go into an uptrend on daily and weekly, and we will automatically get 60% confirmation for our system 3, and based on that we can enter with low risk, high reward trade. And on monthly, it is kind of 40 support, so we have 60% confirmation for OFSS. Next is for Trent. On Trent, monthly is about to cross 60, and daily is also about to cross 60, and weekly is between 40-60. So once it crosses 60 on daily chart, it will automatically cross 60 on monthly chart as well, once the month closes with good condition. And on weekly chart as well, it is about to cross moving average. So we will have strong confirmation once it crosses Trent, and once it crosses that moving average. And on daily chart, once it crosses that price range and 60 RSI, we will have 100% confirmation to take trade based on system 3. Next is for sale. It is breaking out the trend line, and along with that, it is also breaking out 60 resistance, that it is right now around 57. So once it breaks that mark, already it has broken out trend line with few consolidation candles in last 1 week. But once it crosses that, we will have 20% confirmation, and once it crosses 60 on daily chart, it will automatically cross 60 on weekly chart, and then we will have 60% confirmation. Although monthly is between 40-60, so we will have 60% confirmation to take trade based on system 3. Next is Godrej CP. On monthly, it is about to cross 60. On weekly and daily also, it is about to cross 60. And on weekly, it is kind of at trendline resistance. So once it crosses that resistance, we will have 100% confirmation. That is monthly, weekly, and daily all are about to cross 60. And then we can go for hourly and 15-minute chart for 60 or maybe 40 support to get low risk, high reward trade based on this. And on this stock, we have 100% confirmation once it crosses that trend line. Next is for India Mart. It is between 40-60 on monthly chart. On daily and weekly, it is breaking out 60. Once it breaks that mark, it will automatically break the trend line resistance as well. And this is also one of the nugget which I share in all my community calls is resistance until it's broken, right? So we will have to wait for the confirmation until and unless it did not break that resistance on weekly and on daily chart as well. We are not going to trade. Still, we can we have some amount of range to break that resistance mark, but still we'll keep this on track. Next is DLF. On monthly, it is around 55, and on weekly, it was in a consolidation phase since last few weeks, and on daily, it is about to cross 60 with good amount of volume. So on DLF, we are going to take trade based on system 3. Monthly and weekly are between 40-60, so we will only have 20% confirmation for system 3 on DLF. Next is for Glenmark. Monthly is between 40-60, daily is about to cross 60, and weekly is also about to cross 60. But on weekly, we have a resistance mark. So once it breaks that, we will have 60% confirmation to take trade based on system 3. And even further with that, magic band is also getting applied on daily chart, so we can go for both of the systems at the same times, and we can go for advanced trade on this. Next is some of the cup stocks, and even there are some of the stocks which are into tracking list which we have analyzed in Inner Circle Mastermind. So if you are a Tradeathon student, multiplier, or a 1-year student as well, you can go for previous Inner Circle call session, and based on that, you will be able to see what are the tracking stocks which we have to keep on our radar for next week. So let's quickly jump into some of the cup stocks which we discussed in the previous week. Career Point was the first. The resolution point was around 178.50, and current market price, it is at 165.20. So it is not giving any confirmation so far. Once we have the confirmation, then we can go for this trade as well. Next is Kalpataru Power. The current market price is at 570.70, and resolution point was at 554.50, which means right now we have low risk kind of entry on Kalpataru Power as well. Next is for ISMT Limited. Right now, the resolution point was at 70.40, and current market price is around 77.85, which means this stock has already started to moving on the upside, and some of the students of our community have started making money on this as well. Next is Fin Cables. In the previous week, it gave lots of, or you can even consider as good volume with good confirmation on upside. Right now, the current market price of this is 807.80, and resolution point was at 758. So even if you go for this stock trade for next week, you can find some of the opportunities in hourly and 15-minute chart to go for low risk, high reward trade. Next is Univ Cables. The resolution point was around 349.80 and current market prices around 358. So this is also about to give confirmation. So we will have to wait for confirmation on Univ Cables. Next is Dwarkesh Sugars. This is around change in polarity. The previous resistance is now working as support, and the current market price is around 87.80. The resolution point was around 80.40. So right now, once it gives confirmation on daily chart as well, then we can go for low risk, high reward trade on Dwarkesh Sugars as well. So this is for this particular session. I hope you have enjoyed a lot. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then I want you to comment below this particular video what were your biggest takeaways. And if you are someone who is from our community, that is from Tradethon Multiplier or 1 year batch as well, I want you to comment down below in which stock you have traded in the previous week in our 10 days live trading challenge, and what are the stocks which you have already analyzed and you have kept on track rather than all this. And even in our inner circle call, we have already analyzed there are a few more stocks which are on our tracking list for next week, and once they give confirmation, then we are going to take trade. And I hope that you have learned a lot from this particular video, and even the trades which we have taken in 10 days live trading challenge, I'll also make separate video on it. What are the you can even consider behind the scenes of analyzing all those stuffs, and even while live market support, what kind of support I gave to all the students based on which they also entered the trade. And if you're someone who is not yet part of our community, make sure you join our upcoming webinar. The link will be given below this particular video itself. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.